What's going on, everyone? I'm Luke and welcome back to Switch Talks, and in today's video we are going to discuss some potential landing spots and trade packages for Damian Lillard. Man, if you're not already, make sure to subscribe, like the video, comment down below where you want to see Damian Lillard play next year. If you're not already, make sure to also subscribe to our main channel. It's called South Beach Sports. The link to that channel will be down in the description below, so go ahead and subscribe. So this Damian Lillard trade situation has really started to heat up over the past couple weeks. There was a report a couple days ago from Chris Haynes of Yahoo Sports, basically saying that with all these coaching changes and with everything happening around the Blazers right now, that it could force Damian Lillard to request a trade or something of that nature. So it's definitely a possibility that Damian Lillard could be traded, maybe even this offseason. The purpose of today's video is just to explain what type of packages the Blazers might get in return in a trade for Damian Lillard if he does request out. So thanks to fanspo.com, I have built an abundance of trade packages with numerous teams, which I'll put right here in this general vicinity so you guys could follow along. So sit back and relax and let's talk trades. Also, quick disclaimer, Fanspo does not provide pick swaps, so the pick swaps involved in each trade I will be communicating with you guys. Alright, so the first trade of the day is with the New York Knicks. The Knicks would be sending out Mitchell Robinson, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, 3 first-round picks, and a pick swap to the Blazers for Damian Lillard. Personally, if I were the Knicks, I would try to deal out Julius Randle instead of all of your young players. I think Randle would probably offer the most trade value. And besides, I think Randle overplayed this season. I'm not sure if he can continue this production into next season. And I do not think that Julius Randle is a second option type player. So that's why personally I would have traded Julius Randle and maybe Emmanuel Quickley to go along with all these picks. The Knicks have an abundance of cap space. So if they do get Damian Lillard, they still have enough cap room to go ahead and build a team around your core of Lillard and Randle. Alright, so in our second package of the day, we have Brad Stevens of the Celtics, newly promoted GM, I should say, making a big time splash, trading away Jaylen Brown, Robert Williams, 2 firsts and 2 pick swaps in exchange for Damian Lillard. So in this trade, the Blazers would be acquiring Robert Williams, who is approaching that elite rim protector level status, and Jaylen Brown, who is already an elite two-way player. Now, the problem with the Celtics over the past few years with Danny Ainge as their general manager is they had an abundance of assets and picks, and they didn't do anything with them. If you guys remember back in that trade in, I think, 2012, 2013, when Danny Ainge hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived the Brooklyn Nets into trading for the living corpses of Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, the Celtics acquired a shit ton of draft picks, for a lack of a better term. And with those draft picks, they did acquire both Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. So obviously they built a very, very strong core through the draft. And they also had an abundance of draft picks after that they did not do anything with. I understand the Celtics' logic for not wanting to trade Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, but they still had, like I said, a bunch of draft picks to trade, so they definitely could have acquired a third star to go along with your 2 young pieces. So that's something that Danny Ainge did not ever do as the general manager of the Celtics. And I think Brad Stevens, in his first major move, he already traded away Kemba Walker. But his first major splash, he could look into trading for Damian Lillard. All right, so in this next trade package, it's a little bit of a wild card. I really haven't heard this team that much in all these rumored Damian Lillard trade packages. The Denver Nuggets, they have the assets. They have the reigning MVP, so why not try to acquire another superstar around him. So I have the Nuggets sending away Jamal Murray, Bol, 3 first-round picks, an additional first-round pick swap, and a second-round pick in exchange for the Blazers for obviously Damian Lillard. I had them sending away, like I said, Bol, who at this point in his young career, I think is just a little overrated. I really like his potential. He's 7'3", super lengthy, can shoot the ball. but we really haven't seen much from him so far in his young career. He's been near the bottom of the Nuggets bench, so I think the Blazers could look towards Bol Bol as a young piece to develop. And I have the Nuggets sending away Jamal Murray, who is that more accomplished star player. He's obviously he had the torn ACL this past season, but torn ACL isn't usually an injury that continues to linger on for the rest of a player's career. So I don't think that his torn ACL will really negatively affect his trade value that much. All right, so for this next trade, why not? We're doing the Lakers. Whatever. I have them sending away Talen Horton-Tucker, Kyle Kuzma, and a second-round pick. No, I'm playing. That's the running joke on NBA Twitter. That's the trade package that every Lakers fan does for a star player. Obviously, it's not going to work. The real trade package for Damian Lillard would have to be, it's big, Anthony Davis and a future first-round pick for Damian Lillard. That's the only way that the Lakers are going to be able to acquire Lillard. I'm not going to say that much. They don't have the young assets or the picks to really make this trade happen. What they do have is another superstar, I should say, in Anthony Davis. So if the Lakers are looking to move on from Davis, maybe to acquire another more durable superstar, then this is, I guess, one trade avenue they could look towards. All right, so in our next trade today, we have one with the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans look to acquire another superstar next to Zion. They would be sending away Brandon Ingram, 2 young assets in Jackson Hayes and Kira Lewis, 3 first-round picks, and an additional pick swap to the Blazers for Lillard. This trade would pair up Zion Williamson with a more established superstar in Damian Lillard. The Blazers in return would be gaining 2 pretty young pieces, the young raw prospects in Jackson Hayes and Kira Lewis. I'm very excited about Kira Lewis. I think he's going to develop into a very solid player, so the Blazers would be acquiring, I think, a future starter. And, of course, Brandon Ingram, who is already an NBA All-Star. And I think that a combination of Ingram and McCollum, Covington, Yusuf Nurkic would be a contender for at least a play-in spot. Now, I think fans, especially at least on Twitter, that people are kind of ODing it a little bit with the Ben Simmons hates. Ben Simmons is still a positive asset. He's still a top 10 defender in the league. He's still a very good playmaker, super good in transition. So Ben Simmons is still an asset despite his offensive struggles this playoffs. Don't get that twisted. Matisse Thybulle, super young and up-and-coming 3-and-D player. He already made a second team on defense this past season. So he would be a very good young and up-and-coming player for the Blazers to acquire. And Tyrese Maxey, who as a rookie played big-time playoff minutes and I think has a very high ceiling when it comes to his scoring potential. All right, so this last trade is a shout-out to all my fellow Miami Heat fans out there. This one's for you guys. I have the Heat sending away Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, future first-round pick, and an additional pick swap to the Blazers for Lillard. And now the Heat actually don't have a first-round pick currently. They wouldn't acquire one till, I think, late July, I want to say. Whenever the new NBA year starts, they would receive that 28 first-round pick. But there are some avenues for the Heat in acquiring another first-round pick. The Heat could perform a sign-and-trade for one of their restricted free agents like Kendrick Nunn or Duncan Robinson in exchange for a first-round pick or 2. So that's one way they could acquire a pick. Another way is if the Heat perform a trade with the Thunder, that the Thunder would unprotect that 2023 first-round pick. If the Thunder do that, then that would open up both the 2025 and 2027 first-round picks for the Heat to be traded. So those are 2 ways in which the Heat could acquire another first-round pick. Now, as a Heat fan, I really wouldn't be that thrilled with this trade. I wouldn't want to trade away Bam Adebayo. I don't think Bam Adebayo is better than Damian Lillard. I don't know if he's ever going to be better than Damian Lillard. But the Heat in this trade would be committing, I think, 70% of their cap space into a core of Jimmy Butler and Damian Lillard for the foreseeable future. And while that team would be good and would be fun to watch, I don't think that team is a championship level squad. They wouldn't have enough cap space to properly build around that team, and they obviously would have a massive hole in their front court with the lack of Bam Adebayo. Their defense would plummet, and I really don't think it's that smart of a trade. So that's going to be it for today, guys. If you enjoyed the video and if you enjoy content like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, like I said, go comment down below what team you would like to see Damian Lillard on next season. Also, one more thing, turn on your post notification bell, because you guys know with that YouTube algorithm sometimes that even if you are subscribed, the video still won't pop up in your recommended feed. So go ahead and click that notification bell. With that being said, I will catch you later. Peace.